Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game Simmons versus Moon, this game taking place here on Last Refuge. Simmons has spawned as the orange human player on the top right hand side of the map, opening things up with the Altar of Kings, most likely going to set up a farm and then a barracks to round out that Sim City. Meanwhile, Moon opening things up here on the bottom left hand side, Altar of Elders, normal timing, Ancient of War, and it is going to be a Keeper of the Grove over a Demon Hunter here on Last Refuge, being able to level up quickly, summon up those treants. He's going to be going up against an Archmage as this game now underway. Archmage quickly summons up some water elementals. One unlucky footman called to bring over all of these creeps, and what that does is it opens things up for that forest troll high priest to get taken down, and then, well, the mud golem and the rock golem does not cast their spells. No slinging of that slow any longer. Water elemental taking quite a bit of damage here as both sides looking to creep out of this mercenary creep camp, get to level 2 on their hero quickly, and then move on its merry way. Archmage does pick up Devotion Aura 1.5 across the entire army here as that Forest Troll Trapper gets taken out. Manual of Health there. Are we going to try and pick up multiple Forest Troll Shadow Priests? That could be the case. The Forest Troll Shadow Priest obviously a little bit better for Simmons, who does have Brilliance Aura already. But then again, I guess the Forest Troll Shadow Priest also benefiting from True Shot Aura, so a little bit of bonus damage when it's attacking, but may run out of mana a little bit more quickly. Now, it wouldn't be a Moon game without him setting up a Tree of Life and trying to do an expansion. Moon doing what we know he normally does, setting up expos and perhaps trying to win the game economically while keeping pressure going with his hero. The Keeper of the Grove with Treants and Entangle can catch some units off guard there. There's some damage already adding up onto that Forest Troll Shadow Priest. A quick abolish magic there as a Keeper of the Grove trying to go after this Forest Troll Shadow Priest. A Forest Troll Shadow Priest. Oh, a beautiful, beautiful left turn into the fight right there. And you got to remember, there is path of sight or line of sight in WarCraft 3. We know that Forest Troll Shadow Priest had taken that turn, but because the path and the lighting, the way things work in WarCraft 3, the Keeper of the Grove didn't see the Forest Troll Shadow Priest make that turn and hide. So the Keeper of the Grove was perhaps wondering where exactly that Forest Troll Shadow Priest was trying to run off to. Forest Troll High Priest going to get taken down here. Archmage already sitting at level 3 as the Forest Troll Berserkers of Moon now showing up to the party. There's a replenishment potion there as we could see a little bit of fighting going back and forth. All right, there goes a quick entangle. Keeper of the Grove could go after both of these units. That could be a problem as it's actually getting body blocked by Forest Trolls. The trolls on the map are actually getting in the way of Moon and being able to shut down Simmons at this stage and point in the game. Meanwhile, for Boots of Speed here, we're seeing a little bit of damage getting added up. Potion of Replenishment gonna get picked up here as we're going into the corners of the map. Moon's Forest Troll Shadow Priest trying to hide in the corner ends up getting caught still. All right, Keeper of the Grove trying to save some of these units. This one Forest Troll Berserker down to 125 could easily get taken down. Footman with Defend for Archmage with Boots of Speed going to be able to easily catch up. 2 more shots I think are needed. 1 more shot now, and yep, that will be it there. Perhaps trying to go after another Forest Troll Berserker. Easy targets to try and pick off as the Archmage quickly uses the replenishment potion, almost like a clarity potion, since he already was topped out on mana or on hit points. Units, well, what is this? That was gonna be the Archmage picks up a Goblin Tinker as the second hero already, and now going to perhaps place down a Pocket Factory to put in pressure. Meanwhile, this Tree of Life wants to clear out this creep camp here, but hasn't been able to do exactly that. Circuit of Nobility drop picked back up as the Goblin Tinker going to be placing down that Pocket Factory to go after some of these buildings. Simmons with this incredibly, well, high pressure strategy. Goblin Tinker able to threaten buildings much earlier on as this low hit point footman wonders, what the heck am I doing in in this fight. Why did I even try and come here? Let me back away. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, are we going to get Abolish Magic? Yes, we are. That low hit point Footman trying to retreat back here. Archmage trying to test the waters as the Goblin Tinker attempting to go after some of these units. And, well, that Archer able to hide itself in the night. Meanwhile, these Clockwork Goblins are going to take down a couple of these Moonwells. There goes one Moonwell that did have some Moon Juice in them. That is important as... well, Moon needs to heal up and heal up if he wants to try to bounce back from this fight. Moon's Forest Troll Shadow Priest does rejoin. Dual Forest Troll Shadow Priest now making their way back over here to the top right-hand side as we are going into a single Arcane Sanctum and perhaps starting to train up Rifleman by Simmons. Simmons sitting at 35 over 42 supply. Was supply blocked for a little bit of time. Are we going to see some Water Elementals being dropped down now? Yes, we are, as the Forest Troll Trappers and the Ogre Warriors getting in some engagements here. We need to see some heals. A bunch of low hit point Footmen still somehow in this battle. Gonna go ahead and back up here. Some heals are gonna be necessary. And if Simmons wins this battle, it is gonna be because he's done such a good job keeping his units alive. Low hit point units staying alive, Forest Trolls, and then also being able to go after and pick out those other units as well. All right, Scroll of Regeneration could be used up here to try and, well, lighten the mana load on the priest. Even with, even with a Brilliance Aura, mana can run out quickly. Rifleman gonna go ahead and get a shot off against those units, trying to make its way back down. No ensnare. Water Elemental gonna drop here, and here we are creeping on the low ground. Meanwhile, Panda gonna be the second hero of Moon. Breath of, or Drunken Haze as that first ability, well, causing the units to move slower and miss their targets quite a bit. Meanwhile, Goblin Tinker about to get to level 2. Archmage already sitting at level 4. That level 2 Brilliance Aura really adding the necessary mana to keep the priests topped off on mana, as there was a number of low hit point units. Finishing off the remainder of this Goblin Merchant Shop, going to be easy times here, as the Archmage may look to push out here in just a second. Keeper of the Grove ready to come across here. We are only at Initiate training, no Adept, so they are not able to dispel magic on that level 2 Entangle just quite yet. Meanwhile, Panda finding a way. Breath of Fire. Is this Footman going to get taken down? Yes, it is. No dispel magic, but then again, it was awfully close to those other units anyways. Meanwhile, Militia was purposely called over by Simmons in a way where, well, Moon may not have spotted it, and now we have a bunch of Militia out here on the battlefield ready to place down towers. Meanwhile, we're looking at a Lumber Mill being placed down across over here, and yes, that Lumber Mill is to set up some guard towers here in just a second. All right. There's a little bit of repairs here. One Arcane Tower, couple of towers are being placed down, and one Scout Tower already being placed. And are we going to see a base swap? That is a potential here, as we also see that Moon does have a Tree of Life at the 6 o'clock position, now researching that Nature's Blessing upgrade. All right, Guard Tower nearly done, and in a base race scenario, whoever has more bases generally wins out. I don't believe Simmons knows that his opponent has an additional Tree of Life already at that 5 o'clock spot. Tree of Ages about to get taken down here. We are looking at the Pocket Factory trying to churn out some of those Clockwork Goblins. Wisps are frantically trying to repair, but as the Clockwork Goblins are dying, they are actually killing off the Wisps here, as we are looking at a Scroll of Town Portal now by the Archmage. Archmage trying to retreat back out. Are they going to be able to land up on top of these units? They are, and we're going to perhaps finish off some of those Forest Troll Shadow Priests. Treants now back. A bunch of peasants ready to get back to work, as more peasants need to get trained up as well. Down at the south side, Moon's Expo is now his only mining base. Couple of Clockwork Goblins looking to finish off what is remaining here. And here comes the question, does Simmons know about that Expo? He cannot sit back and think that the economic advantage is going to carry him through, because he doesn't actually have it. The Priests are still at the Initiate training. Riflemen don't have any upgrades, as Moon now gets up to level 3 on his Panda. So level 2 Breath of Fire most likely inbound here. There's a Drunken Haze, more to just try and mitigate damage than try and clear out of this creep camp quickly. This Arcane Tower, is it actually within range of, it's in range of most of the buildings here. It has a 700 or 800 range here, so can hit all of these buildings except for this Hunter's Hall. Moving back off to the north, Forest Troll Shadow Priest trying to, well, clear up some of these once again, as the Forest Troll Shadow Priests are getting pressured pretty heavily by this Keeper of the Grove. There goes another Treant now taken down. All right. 8 workers. Simmons needs to get more workers, get more lumber gathering as well. Water Elemental trying to stop this Tree of Life. Meanwhile, the Panda is clearing out creep camp after creep camp with all of these archers nearby, but the archers don't actually have any of the marksman. I don't think they have the, no, they do have the range upgrade. They don't have the damage upgrade that normally makes them stronger, well, ridiculously strong for tier 1 units. All right, back off to the north. Keeper of the Grove continuing to test the waters here, but the Forest Troll Shadow Priest able to hide in the back once more. Army of Archmage now trying to make its way down. Priest, all right, checking up the high ground, and now finally spots this Expo here at the 5 o'clock spot. This is with a level 4 Panda, though, so we could be looking at some Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire combinations, which is going to cause problems. Moon has the larger army at this stage, as they see the Forest Troll Berserkers and the Archers now with 1-0 upgrades. 17 to 21 damage here. Clockwork Goblin's going to get finished off. This one, Moonwell, going to get shut down. Staff of Teleportation inbound for that Keeper of the Grove, as he's going to try and drink as much Moonwell juice as he can. Coming back across here, well, what is Simmons looking to do? He's trying to clear out some difficult creep camps. Perhaps try to take the win that way, as the Overlord actually getting blocked in a weird spot. Are we going to see the Panda get the experience? No. Goblin Tinker gets up to level 3 during from all of that. Brewmaster tried to blow him over, but was unable to do that, as we're looking at the Spellbreakers now joining in on the battle as well. All right, Shadow Melded Archers are causing a little bit of traffic here, as the Archers are now trying to retreat back. Some easy damage, finishing off some of those Archers again, but no easy way to stun down that Brewmaster at all. 47 supply compared to 40. Simmons is still on the smaller army, but does have some comparable units nearby, ready to go and launch this attack. All right, Army of Moon, Shadow Meld, trying to hide and then purposely wait for the Archmage to come back here, and then now perhaps try and engage, as we're looking at some easy pickings off of Moon's units. We are still looking at 1 base now versus 2, as Moon got his main base operational once more. All right, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, trying to finish off that Forest Troll Shadow Priest should not be a problem, and now going after those other backline units here. Brewmaster down to 211 hit points, does have a Potion of Greater Mana, could will quickly quaff that potion and then get a Breath of Fire. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, but the Panda gets taken down instead. Archmage now up to level 5. Goblin Tinker staying at level 3. Forest Troll Berserkers of Simmons now getting denied here, as the Keeper of the Grove trying to double back around. Simmons gets a big boost in morale by taking down the Panda, but is it enough, as Moon is still up and operational on 2 bases? Main base of Simmons down to 8 minutes left. Meanwhile, Moon has 10 minutes of mining left, as mining was halted for quite a bit of time. 51 over 70 supply. Moon in that weird limbo state right now. Not quite sure if, just in that weird limbo state. Could be getting more gold per second if it just detonated a Wisp, but instead not doing that. Coming back around, Archmage, Goblin Tinker, Pocket Factory now retraining to Blizzard. No chance of repairs at all. Scroll of Town Portal is going to see, Staff of Teleportation going to see the Panda now show up to the party, as the Panda now taking quite a bit more damage than initially expected. All right, there's more Blizzard. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire across all of those Riflemen. Riflemen cannot shoot the broadside of a Tree of Life right now, as they are, well, feeling the effects of that Drunken Haze, and the Moon going to lose this Tree of Life. So it is now down to 1 base again. All right, Pocket Factory going to go ahead and disappear, give a little bit of experience, and the Brewmaster, well, Brewmaster now heading back, perhaps trying to drink some Moonwell juice. No Wellspring upgrade, though. So, well, already at full capacity. Keeper of the Grove gonna finish off the remainder of this last refuge creep camp, this high ground Ogre Lord creep camp here. Meanwhile, Archmage now leading the charge back down through the center. Goblin Tinker just shy of level 4. Archmage has retrained. We're looking at scrolls of healing to try and counteract that level 2 Breath of Fire, as the armies are now making or putting pressure here. All right, the main base now pretty sparse. This one Moonwell going to get taken down quickly, and now the question is there enough here to finish things off? Pocket Factory, these Clockwork Goblins need to make their way over. Archmage, is it going to be able to finish the job? Scroll of Town Portal, Wisp now making their way back over. Rifleman perhaps going to try and shoot their way through, and then now could have easily tried to get a Blizzard off here onto all of these tightly grouped units, as the Keeper of the Grove wants to entangle the Archmage to try and stop this Blizzard. All right, more damage racking up on both sides. There it is. High ground actually has a couple of creeps, and that was perhaps a good defensive move by Moon, as Moon knows that if the riflemen were up on that high ground, it would have caused a bit of problems, as a high ground advantage versus range units is a real thing. Scroll of Healing counteracting all of that Blizzard damage. Meanwhile, Goblin Tinker needs to get healed up quickly as well. 41 supply compared to 50 as Simmons backs up again. All right, more auto heals are going to be needed. It needs to keep that Goblin Tinker alive. There's a Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, Scroll of Healing used there. Goblin Tinker now up to level 4. Entangle onto the Archmage. Archmage could be in trouble. Goblin Tinker gets taken down. Had a full potion of invulnerability, but did not use it, as the Brewmaster gets up to level 5. Brewmaster now hiding behind the Goblin Merchant Shop, as Simmons looking to perhaps resurrect the Goblin Tinker from the tavern. That is going to be an expensive resurrection at level 4 as the army moves out again. All right, there's a Drunken Haze. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Is he going to try to finish off more of these units again? Panda doesn't have that much mana, but could easily take out one or two of those units with a Breath of Fire if he can just get enough mana. Coming back across on the other side here, more Blizzard trying to finish off some of those units, and then it gets the teleportation back home. Archmage needs to heal back up, needs to be careful. Brewmaster could try and go for a Breath of Fire across multiple units. Scroll of Regeneration, there's the Breath of Fire, does finish off a Priest, and the Archmage now down to 39 hit points. Very low indeed. Meanwhile, Panda does have a Potion of Healing to try and stay alive. A Brewmaster, well, separated from his friends, needs to teleport back home to get home. Moon, well, never one to not have a secret base. Rebuilt that 5 o'clock expo. Currently entangling that gold mine. It will be up and operational in about a minute or two. Meanwhile, Rifleman trying to chase after all of these units again. Goblin Tinker doesn't have boots of speed, but looks like he can finish or track down one of those archers, and now perhaps go after the Goblin, this Forest Troll Berserker as well. One more shot. Nope, not enough, as the Goblin Tinker, down to 5 hit points, and that troll, is he going to be able to? Yes, ends up getting taken down. All right, there's a Pocket Factory down here. Brewmaster, Breath of Fire across multiple units. Both sides are going to try and engage. There's a Blizzard again, entangle quickly onto the Archmage, and now trying to go after all of these units. Goblin Tinker has a little bit of problems. Does have a Potion of Invulnerability. Is he going to use it in time? Yes, he does, as the Archmage fighting their way through. There goes another entangle. Scroll of Healing to try and counteract, as the Archmage now backs away again. Brewmaster is still trying to dive in again, and well, Scroll of Healing, to try and keep this army alive. Everyone is just on a razor's edge right now. Both sides could lose this game. A little bit of AoE damage is all it takes, and now suddenly Moon looks like he's in the driver's seat again, as there's a bunch of low hit point orange units by Simmons. There's a Blizzard now down. All the archers able to shake off that damage. Rifleman going to get taken down. Goblin Tinker unable to pick up any additional Scrolls of Healing, as it looks like the Riflemen are slowly going to fall, giving Moon the game here. All right, a long, drawn-out battle going back and forth, but it feels like Simmons has a slight advantage. But what is this? A couple of easy kills, and now suddenly Simmons' army is about the same size. Archmage now in trouble, down to 101 hit points, and there's the Breath of Fire. All right, Moon getting the final shot on that Archmage to ensure the kill. Moon had the higher hero score, and it was those hero levels, particularly that level 3 Breath of Fire on that level 5 Panda, that added up too much damage for Simmons to overcome. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.